Greetings, internetizens. This is Elmerthien playing Professor Layton in the Unwound Future. In the last episode, I found out that those old guys from the university were actually Don Paolo, and he used to be friends with the professor, except that he was also in love with Claire, and that's how he turned evil. Because the professor was his rival. Yeah, and we met with our girl Flora at the hotel. Also, Big Luke is sus. Oh, heading back out so soon? Yes, we are. By the way, Becky, I've been wondering if there's somewhere nearby for us to cross the Thames. There's the bridge, but it's quite a long way out beyond Chinatown. Excuse me, sir. Did I hear you say that you're trying to cross the Thames? Oh, grandmother, I didn't realize you were awake. To be an underground tunnel that would take you across. It went clear under the Thames, and people would just walk on through to the other side. Wow, a tunnel under the river sounds amazing. Unfortunately, once the family gained control, they closed down the tunnel. Segal might still know a way in, though. Segal. Oh, do you know him, sir? He's easy to spot with his unibrow, blue hat and scheming smile. We have quite a history, though he now spends most of his time down at the black market. Ah, yes, I do believe we've met this friend of yours before. You remember him, don't you? Oh? Why does he have this hat? Where did he go? He was here just a moment ago. Oh, are you two looking for Luke? He walked out of here a second ago. By himself. But where could he possibly be headed? Please excuse me, madam, but I have to go find my friend. Thank you for the information on Segal. Not at all, sir. We here at Hotel Duke are always delighted to assist our guests. Where do you suppose Luke ran off to? I'm not sure. If you happen to see him, please let him know we're looking for him. Of course. And the hat is probably mass-produced. He was looking a bit blue before he left, sir. Was something bothering him? I'm not sure. He's probably not gone far. So with a little searching, I'm sure we'll find him. I'm sure you will. Best of luck in your search. I'm worried, Professor. Where could Luke have run off to? I don't know, but I share your concern. It's unlike Luke to take off without so much as a word. Maybe he decided to go on a secret mission of his own, like you when we went to the towering pagoda. Well, regardless of his reasons, he shouldn't be out there alone. We need to search for him. Can I still go the other way? Possibly talk to these people? It's right, mister. You look all worried. out of the hotel over there recently? Oh, the guy in blue? Yep, I saw him come out, but I don't remember which way he went. Sorry. That's alright. You've already been most helpful. He's got a puzzle. You better have good reason for talking to me. Sorry to bother you, but have you seen the young boy I've been traveling with? I don't know, they need skirt in the blue hat? Yes, that would be him. Sure, I saw him come by. Did you happen to see in which direction he ran off? Suppose I could tell you that, but not for free. Scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, okay? Can't you just rub your back on a wall? That future look being fake, once again, puts the whole future thing into question. Somebody's been racing chickens. It's this thing again. Looks like a photo finished, but the photo's been torn to pieces. No. It's another circle drawing puzzle. Well, this one is straight. Decapitated chicken here. And I need some bit of tail or this curve. This is the bottom of the curve, this is the top. Alright? I might have to do this in MS Paint again. Well, it seems to be E, I think.
That should do the trick.
Yeah.
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
It's a lot of chickens. Now I can finally wash my hands of that puzzle. So, about that short friend of yours. The kid came out and walked off toward Flatstone Street. Had the glummiest expression on his face. Oh, that's where the subway station is. So I can do other stuff before that, or in other areas. Hello there, young fellow. Have you by any chance seen Luke around here? Nope, I don't think he's come by this way. Why? Is something wrong? It's probably nothing serious. But if you should see him, do let him know I'm looking for him. Ding ding ding! You got it. What? 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 Can't you see I'm busy standing around? Sorry to bother you, but have you seen my young friend pass through here? The one with the blue hat? Oh yeah, that the guy. No, he hasn't come by here. I see. I was hoping he'd passed through here. Nope. But listen, whenever you find him, tell him I've got a puzzle for him to solve, will ya? I certainly will. Oh, they're softening up to us. Excuse me, have you happened to see a young boy come by here? You know, the one who loves puzzles. Oh, that the boy? No, he hasn't been by here. It's the strangest thing. He just ran off and I haven't seen him since. He's old enough that I think it's unlikely he'd have gotten himself lost. I hate to be the one to drop a load of reality on you, but anyone can get lost at any age. Or at least that's what I've read in the papers. Yes, well, I'd best get back to searching. If you see my friend, let him know I'm looking for him. Sure thing. I hope you find him soon. Nothing in that shop. Barton? Hello, Professor. Can I help you? Barton, have you seen Luke roaming about this area? No, sir. Has the lad gotten himself lost? It's beginning to look that way. The thing is, I can't imagine where he could be. It's a cause for concern, isn't it? Oh, and on the subject of missing persons, you should know that the inspector is looking for you. I see. We'll check in with the man when you have a chance, yes? Yes, sir. I'll check in right after this snack. Hello, Tyler. Can you tell me if young Luke has been here recently? The young fellow with the hollow leg. No, he hasn't been by here. What? Hollow leg? Oh dear. He's been missing for some time, and I haven't had much success finding him. Oh, it's a joke about his stomach extending to his legs, and that's why he eats so much. Poor boy. He must have gotten lost wandering about town. If he comes by, let him know I'm looking for him, will you? Of course, sir. Wasn't there a person here? The lady from Cardiff. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Oh, wait, was this guy here before? I think there was a guy with a hat. What do you want? Please don't hurt me. I simply wish to ask you a question, sir. No need for theatrics. Alright, shoot. You know the young fellow I've been traveling with? Have you seen him around this area? You mean the one with the blue hat and the piercing bloodthirsty stares? I'd hardly characterize his stare as piercing. But yes, I think we're talking about the same boy. You mean his bright, determined expression? Well, I haven't seen him around these parts. Is he lost? He's lost or wandering. I'm not entirely sure yet. If it will keep you from hunting me down, I sure hope you'll find him soon. And thank you. Wait, maybe I should check the observatory too. Nobody at the observatory. Oh, there's still new stuff here. Oh, it's probably just Scarfman that doesn't have new dialogue. Excuse me, have you seen a little boy in a blue hat? He's about yay high. No one's come by. I know. I've been here working at the site all day long. Ah, well, if you see him, will you kindly let him know that I've been looking for him? Sure thing. But surely nobody in the past just a new dialogue about Luke. Hello, Spring. Tell me, has Luke come by the shop? Of course, there's been. Oh, silly me. You're talking about little Luke. No, he's not been by. Ah, I see. Well, on the off chance he does come by, do tell him I'm looking for him. Is something the matter? It seems that young Luke has run off somewhere by himself. Young ones can be such a handful. But I wouldn't worry. There aren't that many places to go around here. I'm sure you'll find him soon enough. I certainly hope so. But my time travel... I can't go back to the past to do the puzzles there. Come on. Oh, here she is. And the creepy girl. Hello again. Do you need something? Sorry to disturb you, but have you seen the boy I'm always with come by? Ah, the country mouse in the blue hat. Yes, I believe I saw him heading north. He didn't seem lost, so I just let him go. Oh dear, now I wish I'd said something to him. Not to worry, I'm sure I'll find him soon. Thank you for the information. Have you seen the boy that you have a crush on? Oh, you-hoo! Friend of Fluke? Mr. Gentleman, have you seen my dear sweet Flukey Pooh? So you haven't seen the boy either. Luke ran off on his own earlier, and I haven't seen him since. What? But Prince Charming has disappeared? Oh, my poor Fluke. I hope nothing's happened to him. No need to worry. But if you see him, please let him know we've been looking for him. No need to worry. My hanky chunk of man is missing. I'll tear this town apart to find him if I must. Don't worry, Fluky, my dear. I'll save you. Oh my, I never would have guessed Belle could run that fast. Charming! The breeze today is so nice. I wish my hubby would come home from work so we could go on a picnic. Nothing? What is it now, Layton? Have you seen Luke, Inspector? He dashed off on his own just a few moments ago. Strange. Well, he hasn't taken the railway, or I would have seen him. That much I can say for sure. I see. He must have headed in the direction of the Thames. I thought that boy was chunked to at the hip. Oh, I suppose every hatchling has to learn to fly. I'm just a bit concerned as to where he's flown off to. I know the feeling. Barton gets me fretting over him twice a week, easy. Of course, Luke's a fair bit brighter than Barton. I wouldn't worry yourself. He'll turn up. Just the same, if you happen to see Luke, please let him know I'm looking for him. Aye. I can't take the subway. Yeah, this is the way to the... which way is to the casino? This is the casino. And this is where the fountain will be. Where the fountain is. Oh! Look, there you are. Oh, hi, Professor. I see you've gone out for a stroll. Do you mind if I join you? No problem. Sorry to run off. I was just... well, I was thinking. We've had so much fun these last few years, and I've gotten so used to going everywhere together. Of course you have. After all, we're the best of friends. It's only natural we'd spend time together. Dad told me the other day that his job is transferring him. So we'll all be moving. Ah yes, your father mentioned that to me as well. Tell me, Luke, do you believe that we're true friends? Of course I do. How can you even ask that? Good, then there's no need to worry. You see, true friends share a special connection. And this connection endures no matter how far apart they may be separated physically. Distance and time apart are irrelevant to the bond formed by a true friendship. Do you follow? I think I do, Professor. Excellent. Now let's get back to our investigation. We've many mysteries to solve. Sounds good, Professor. Oh, oh, oh. It's good to see you back in high spirits, my boy. Now tell me, can you guess where we're headed next? After thinking about it a lot, I'm guessing Dimitrius flew to wherever he's building his time machine. But the question is where? We already know that this research lab isn't in the towering pagoda. That's right. So we must return to the clues we've gathered during our investigation of this London. Has anything we've seen around town struck you as suspicious? Oh, you know, I was just thinking about all the men in white coats we've bumped into here. Those flare-up coats. No doubt about it. Perhaps those men are involved with Dimitri's research. Excellent. Now let's think back just a bit more. We met several men in red coats around town. Other than their garb, what else did all these men have in common? Oh, of course! They all had wet shoes and pants. So all of them must have come from someplace near water. But where? What about the fairies? Maybe they came to this part of town through the underground passage there. Flora? What underground passage? We asked the lady at the hotel how to get across the Thames, and she told us about this thing. Wow! Yes, we've met quite a few scientists around town in our time here. And though they haven't been very forthcoming with details, it's clear clear where they've been coming from. My suspicion is that these men work at a research facility located near the fence, and that they come into town to refresh themselves after long hours of research. And you've had this theory the whole time, Professor? It's been a working theory for a while, yes. After all, who goes around in soggy pants? We saw too many men walking the town in that state for me to write the whole thing off as coincidence. Therefore, I believe this research center is somewhere on the other side of the fence. Amazing! Clearly, I've still got a long way to go before I can think like you do, Professor. Alright, we're headed back to the Black Market Bazaar. Why there? If we're trying to get across the fence, shouldn't we head back to the riverside area? I'm sure we'll make it there eventually. But first, we've got to talk to that man at the bazaar with the unibrow. I think his name is Segal. Okay, if you say so. But what about the mafia doing? And this dude. Hi there! Ah, not you again! Stay away, you monster! You've got it all wrong. He's an archaeology professor and I'm his apprentice. That's all. You can't fool me with those lies. You're the boss of the family. You're quite mistaken, my good man. The boss of the family has modeled his appearance after mine. The boss of the entire family decided to model himself after you. Precisely. If the baddest baddie around looks up to you, what does that say about you? Somebody help! Help! There's just no reason with that fellow. Part of me is beginning to think he actually enjoys being in a state of constant terror. Wait. There's a hidden research facility. Look disappeared. Future disappeared. Someone looks like Claire. Alec disappeared. Wholesome moment. And we got across the river, but first we should find this Segal guy. Wait, this is the last one. No. Yes, this is the last one. Two starting pegs seem to be within range. This might be it, I'm not sure. Oh, it's you, Parrot. You made me jump. Present? Wow, that's a great present. I bet she'll love this. Thank you so much, little bird. You're welcome. But how will I ever pluck up the courage to give it to her? My lovely Becky. Becky. Congratulations! Congratulations! With the help of your trusty bird, you've completed all deliveries. Ah, yeah. Hey there, boy. Reading the paper much these days? Nothing then. Hey, this guy. Do you have a puzzle? Just some basic dialogue. Max has a puzzle. Hey fellas, want to hear a juicy rumor? Sure, Max, lay it on me. Sorry, but I can only share this rumor with people who solved my puzzle. Is it a rumor about the ghost of a dead scientist? In the middle of the wall is the last page of a 12-month calendar. The previous 11 pages were once pasted on the same wall. As you can see by the letter, the remains still stuck everywhere. Why is it such a mess? When the new month arrives, somebody ripped off the old month's page and pasted the new one on top of it. Without bothering to line up the edges at all. What? I'd expect the pages to be stacked up on the wall and we'll take them off one by one. Which month's page is the arrow pointing at? I strongly suspect it's January.
Here's my answer. I knew it!
Ding ding ding! Correct! Now I'll tell you about the fabulous prize you just won. Let me guess, you're going to tell us the truth. Ding ding ding! Correct! I've been hearing talk about an amazing bird. A bird, huh? Ding ding ding! Correct! Not only can he talk, I hear he can copy sounds perfectly. This is sounding an awful lot like Greg. Oh, you know this famous bird? Did you get his autograph? computer was wobbly. Time cards. Well, time is kind of a theme. The 4 cards below, 0, 1, 2, and 6, can be used to display different times of the day. As seen in the example 2.16, with using a 24-hour clock, how many different actual times can be created by rearranging the 4 cards? Well, wait, 0, 2 is involved as well. I think this might be all the options. Which seems to be 10.
This one's as good as solved.
Why?
I guess it's back to the drawing board.
What did I miss? There's no 61 or 62. Why? How many different actual times? Hmm. Oh, 1. 1601. No. There's no 01. Because that would have to be a 26. Oh, come on. Up to 23. Ah! What the heck? I didn't expect this. That means... would all this work with a 9? Hmm. It would. Good thing I'm not on digital numbers here.
Here's my answer. Phew, that's a relief.
Stick a fork in this puzzle because it's done. Still locked. Oh wait, this guy didn't have anything. This might be where the passage starts. And I think I'll go to the minigames. What? I'm in the bonus stuff. Oh, the names. We can see the challenges names again. It was unavailable in the second game for the uncompleted minigames. So this is the game completion one. This is the all puzzles one. The book. The car. Alright, let's deal with some dirt. You found a nice round patch of dirt that you'd like to divide up into as many different garden plots as possible. You have 5 ropes to work with. Each one must be stretched in a straight line across the circle, but the ropes can cross each other as often as you like. What is the maximum number of sections you can divide the patch of dirt into? Well, I think making a star in the middle is as good as I can get. That would be 16, right? One in the middle. The 5 points of the star. 10 on the edges.
How about this? I knew it!
The black top-hat below is made from 6 blocks. Using the same pieces make a white hat in the same spot? What does this... Using the same pieces? Am I just making an outline?
Here's my answer. I knew it!
Oh, it's these kittens. 14 hooves. Wow.
How about this? No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Oh yeah, saving game. Yeah, that building is definitely the secret passage. So let's head to Chinatown. I mean the black market. Maybe I should do Chinatown first. Oh, the cat! Oh no, having trouble again, are you? Oh my, that is some puzzle. Oh, it's one of these weird equations. 1 plus 1 equals dog. 1 plus 2 equals cat. This doesn't make sense. Mm, 13. Odd and even numerals.
How about this? I knew it!
Not at all. Glad I could help. Have a pleasant day. Ah, kitty. This guy looks new. It's coming clear now. I've just seen a startling vision of your future. Heebity-jeebity. You scared me. Who are you anyhow? My name is Malzano. I'm gifted with the power of clairvoyance. Sadly, it's also my burden. You mean you can see into the future? You got it. Not the whole future, of course, but snapshots of other people in the future. Here, let me show you. What? See a line of trains heading down. I bet I can guess exactly which station that complete stranger is going to get off the train at. He knows the station. Which way are the trains going, though? Heading down. Circle the letters again.
Here's my answer.
Terminus, please
Phew,
leave the train.
That's a relief.
What? What? How do you know that? Holy smoke! Do you got powers too, kid? Oh no, I'm not seeing into the future. It's just a simple matter of... And here I thought I was the only one. I'm so glad there's someone else in the world like me. Someone else who understands the terrible and awesome gift bestowed upon us. I don't think he's listening to you anymore, Luke. Let's leave him be. guy. Not sure if this is new. It might be new. Yeah, but he's having fun watching. Come back soon to check out the mural. Let's get back to the black market and talk to the guy with the hat. Hello, Segal. Oh, that's the first time someone's called me by my real name in some time. Where do you hear it? This is getting suspicious. And there's the problem with getting the names on the interface without characters knowing them. The proprietors of Hotel Duke told us. Omniscient narrator issues. Ah, dear old Maggie. She can be quite fearsome, but underneath it all, she's good people. Anyway, what can I do for you? We're trying to find a way across the Thames around here. We were told you might be able to help us. Have you tried jumping? To be honest, that's an option we've never considered. I'm just joshing with you. Well, there's a couple of boats that leave from in front of the Thames Arms. But those are there exclusively for use by the family and their goon squad. I was told you knew of another way across. Ah, so Maggie laid it all out for you, did she? More or less. Alright then, but things are pretty rough across the river. If you're set on heading there, I gotta at least make sure you've got the brains to get across. Oh, it's one of those gravity mazes.
That should do the trick. Well, that's settled.
Oh, I see you got enough brains to take care of yourself out there, so listen good. Down by the riverside, there is a door that leads to a town under the river. The doors look tighter than a bank safe, but here's the thing. There's a switch to open it. Go on. Of course, it's not a button or anything straightforward. It's a fancy coded lock. And judging by how you just solved my puzzle, you might have the smarts to break the code. Have we ever met them at the same place? Look, that must be the door Segal was talking about. I think you're right, Flora. Now we just have to find the switch that opens the door. Bingo! So this is the switch Segal was talking about. I think I can break the code. Well, let's see. For each of the 4 squares below, there is a way to display numbers 0 to 9. Tapping each of the 4 buttons will change the numbers according to a hidden set of rules. Plus minus 5, right? Set all the numbers to 0. Let's see. 9 and 7. Minus 33, right? Three and 1, maybe. 3 and 1 each minus 3. 0 and 8. That would just put me at 2 4s. Ha ha ha! However, I need to make a 5 there.
This one's as good as solved. Phew, that's a relief.
Good to see that it helps that the most multiples of odd numbers, so when you just go through the multiples of them, you'll get all over the, all the digits and the first decimal place. I think that did the trick. No reaction? Yikes! This place is a mess! It seems the tunnel here has been neglected for some time. It started to leak and fall apart. There's no way to make your way through this without getting your pants thoroughly soaked. He doesn't even care about the scientists doing the secret lab work for him. If it's for the sake of the research, shouldn't he have the tunnel reinforced? No wonder those scientists were never dry. What if it collapsed on them? With the boats of the area under family supervision, crossing the Thames is no easy task. The tunnel is the best way to move between both sides of the river unharassed. Professor, look, wait. If we try to cross this mess, my dress will get absolutely soaked. It is impractical to walk in a soggy dress. I know it's rough, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made in the interests of the investigation. Easy for you to say, look. You're wearing short pants. Yeah, the mystery has been solved. Now for the lady. Well, look who we have here. You. Hey, I thought this place was unguarded. You got it all wrong, boy. I'm not on guard. I'm just taking a break. It's very relaxing down here. But now that I've seen you, I can't very well just let you walk on past. Listen, we really need to pass through. Can't you just look the other way? Doubtless you're headed for the research facility, yes? Sure, whatever. You can go through. After all, I'm not exactly on the clock here. But that doesn't mean I don't have standards. If you can't measure up to them, you're out of luck. Standards? What kind of standards? You need to have solved at least 80 puzzles, which you seem to have done. You're free to go through. Aren't you worried about what will happen if people find out you let us pass through? What does it matter if you get through? You won't stop the boss. No one's got the brains for that. And now that he's got his eye on you, it's only a matter of time before he traps you. We'll see about that. My break's over now. I don't imagine we'll see each other again. Goodbye. Oh, there's fish. That's a good sign. It means the water isn't too polluted. Then again, it says a lot about the structural integrity of this pipe. Wow, get a load of this! I think it's safe to say we've arrived at Dimitri's research facility. It looks like a power plant! Do you think the Prime Minister is being held here, Professor? Most likely. And that means the place is probably under very heavy guard. Be on the lookout for trouble, everyone. Yes! As I suspected, we can't just stroll through the main gate. Perhaps there's a more discreet entrance into the place. Good idea, Professor. We might find another way in around here if we search carefully. Such as this door. I think we can squeeze in through here. Look, you two. There's a message scrawled here. Oh, where? Right on that little scrap of paper stuck to the wall. See it? The code? Well, one of the four corner squares below. A, B, C, or D will unlock this door if when pressed. Start from the red square in the center. Follow the order shown at the top. Can't use the same square twice.
Here goes nothing. I don't want to brag, but that was pretty great.
Ha! I did it. Who knows what would have happened if I hadn't solved that puzzle? Your help is greatly appreciated, Flora. But I do wonder who could have left this message here. What about... Nope, that's the way back to the pipes. Nothing in the cooling tower? It's about time. Glad to see you all had enough brains to solve your way through my puzzle. Oh, hi there, Don Paolo. Hi there, Don Paolo. Kid, I'm lurking in the shadows. At least pretend to be startled, won't you? Paul, how did you manage to get across the Thames ahead of us? Yeah, let me tell you a little something about being a true gentleman, Layton. A true gentleman keeps his secrets, so don't think I'll be sharing them with you. You probably just should have used that goofy flying machine of yours to... No, you probably just used that goofy flying machine of yours to... It's not goofy, and I think I made myself clear that the matter's not open for discussion. Sheesh, nosy brat. Very well, Paul. Now then, everyone, let's continue on. This ladder's sure to take us down into the research facility. Ah yes, Captain Obvious to the rescue once again. Stand aside, I'll lead the way. No way, I'm the youngest and the nimblest. I should go first. Being nimble doesn't make you first. It makes you a monkey. Stand aside. Really, what kind of behavior is that for an adult? Oh, Don Paolo, this is so disappointing. You were so reasonable and polite when you were disguised as the professor. Of course I was. When I play a part, I mimic every nuance of the character. Right down to the way Layton apes the part of a gentleman to get in people's good graces. That's a terrible thing to say about him. He's not aping the part of a gentleman. He is a gentleman. Whatever. Look, let's just finish this debate with a puzzle. Solve what I dish out and you go first. Inspect this odd construction site. Start at the orange arrow. Pass through points A, B, C, and D in order. Be sure to cross every beam and use every ladder. Your path can't cross except to pass over and or under a ladder. Yeah. The path can only cross on ladders. In what order will you take the white ladders? Well, I'm not sure if there's only one order possible, but clearly B and C have to connect to each other like this. This one is first. You have to get off this one and see A. Right?
How about this?
Well,
I knew it!
I guess your head's not as empty as it looks. Well, a deal's a deal. You can go down first. Okay, everyone, the coast is clear. Come on through. Ah, this looks like your classic underground passageway for transporting research materials. I'll bet you anything this tunnel leads all the way back out to the Thames. You sound awfully sure about that. Remember who you're talking to, boy. Nobody does secret laboratory research like Don Paolo. I suppose everyone's got to have a hobby. Oh my. What is it? Materials they have here. They seem like... No, I must be mistaken. Never mind. This metal shutter is barring our way. I'm starting to get the feeling we're not welcome here. Naturally, Flora. That's how criminals work. The dirtier the deed, the more cautious they get. See, they've even gone out of their way to fit a puzzle lock to the shutter. Make your way from the green square to the red square one step at a time. You can only move 2 numbers that differ by 1 from your current number. It's similar to that color puzzle before.
Here's my answer. I knew it!
Haha! That lock didn't stand a chance against me. Stupid lock. I hope you didn't enjoy busting open that lock too much, Look. It could lead you to a life of crime. Sure, if you say so, Flora. What are you doing down here? Shh! Not so loud, sir. We've come to rescue you. I don't know what you mean. There's no need to play dumb, my friend. We know the whole story. You were captured by the family, or rather by Dimitri Allen. Now you're being forced to work on his research here, correct? Dimitri Allen? You know his name? But who are you exactly? I am the real Professor Layton. Dimitri has been using my good name for his own evil purposes. Oh, of course! I remember hearing that you worked in archaeology. Yes, it all makes sense now. Boy, you can't imagine how I was to learn that Professor Layton was actually Dimitri. Are any of the other scientists here aware of Dimitri's true identity? Some, yes, but I don't dare talk about it with people here. Imagine what the family would do to me if they caught me spreading that kind of information around. I see. Well, is Dimitri here in the facility with you? Sometimes he comes and goes. Yikes! Quick, hide! We've got guards headed this way. It's these guys. I leave off here for today. See you next time.